Gaffney. Still Robbie Gaffney, and Jacko McDonough there to tidy. Pat Byrne. Cullen cutting down his space, but doing so illegally. And as usual, it's Jacko McDonough who'll take the free. Campbell cushion heading it backwards. Robbie Lawler seeing the danger. Jacko McDonough, he's not the best player in the world in the air, but extremely good on the ground. And Reynolds knocking down the flag and giving the throw to Rovers. Well, Rovers, having weathered that early storm in the second half, now trying to put their own bit of pressure on the UCD defence. But it's the students once again on the burst. Dignan. Robbie Gaffney pushing it forward for Joe Hanrahan, if he can control, which he can. That final telling pass has been absent from the UCD play all afternoon. King. Campbell clipped from behind by his marker, Ken O'Doherty. The free taken quickly, and Steedman was holding Robbie Lawler, says referee John Carpenter. There's a quick word with Neville Steedman. And it's interesting that Steedman has now switched across to that left-hand side. Once more, he's looking for openings, looking for space. But with 20 minutes of this cup final remaining, it's still Shamrock Rovers 0, UCD 0. And that time, Ken O'Doherty and Neville Steedman, and the referee will have a word, first of all, with Steedman. He's booked him already, remember. And Steedman very sensibly walking away completely from that incident. The referee had a quick word with Ken O'Doherty, but didn't take his name. So just a couple of unsavoury incidents in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Gaffney in quickly on Pat Byrne. Reynolds, well, expecting support to come from the back. Instead, it's McNeville. Gaffney losing it out to Steedman. Neville Steedman with plenty of room to manoeuvre. Has he the confidence to take it on himself? He has. Dunning. Dermot Keeley controlling and passing. That going off Dunning, with Liam Buckley coming in hard. King with the throw. Steedman unable to keep it in play. Goal kick to UCD. Well, Alan O'Neill giving UCD supporters just a moment's concern. Very experienced defender, of course. Devlin touched it on for Hanrahan. Reynolds is in the area, and 2 Rovers players there taking it clear. Hanrahan. And that was Robbie Lawler coming from a very deep right back position, and Aidan Reynolds still trying to recover from that last challenge. He had just a moment to think about the shot, and quickly 2 Rovers defenders came in on top of him. Once again, the trainer Bob Dillon will just take a look at Aidan Reynolds' left, or is it right ankle? He had problems with ankle trouble from that Shield match last weekend. In fact, he didn't come out for the second half. Reynolds is okay. Indeed, Reynolds and Alan O'Neill went through something like 3 hours of intensive training each day last week to get fit for this cup final. So UCD are considering bringing on Brendan Murphy. He's warming up. He's a front player, and the chances are it will be Reynolds that he will be replacing. Pat Byrne going forward with a lot of confidence. Buckley making an angle for him. Byrne now quickly swallowed up by O'Doherty's challenge. Gives it to Steedman, and Robbie Lawler belts it clear for a throw. King. Pat Byrne, but there's very little space in there, and Robbie Lawler, or Robbie Gaffney rather, takes that one out. McDonough hesitates, loses it. Devlin. Cullen outside him if he wants to use him. He's got Martin Moran. Here's the number 3. 6 UCD players forward in the penalty area if he can supply the cross, which he can't. Pat Byrne. Neville linking up here. Alan Campbell, and it comes off Alan O'Neill. The nearest Rovers have been in the second half. Well, a quick burst down that right-hand side left Alan O'Neill in a potential goal-scoring position. And this was the chance as Alan Campbell hit it off Alan O'Neill's legs and away to safety. The Rovers still applying the pressure relentlessly at this stage. Neville linking up with Pat Byrne. The early cross, and Campbell was almost in once again. Alan Campbell, he scored in all domestic competitions this year. And John Cullen will be the one who'll calm things down with this throw for UCD. Reynolds, an important interception by John Cody. Campbell again, Ken O'Doherty, Dignan forward for Devlin. Frank Devlin. Well, it was intended for Joe Hanrahan, but here's Dignan. Devlin, and handball by Dermot Keeley, and the referee reaching for the yellow card to show it to Dermot Keeley. Desperate measures in a desperate situation. Well, UCD could so easily have been in that time for the chance, but instead they have the free just outside the penalty area. Noel King organising the wall with Jody Byrne, his goalkeeper, making sure that they're guarding that left-hand post. John Carpenter bringing the wall back to his satisfaction. And it's Robbie Lawler who's there with Devlin. Good jump by Jacko McDonough. McNeville, who switched across to the right-hand side, who thumped that one up into the stand. So both teams bringing on subs. Brendan Murphy on the right-hand side for UCD, Terry Everston on the left-hand side. And going off Aidan Reynolds, and going off as well is Anto Whelan. So it means a regrouping in defence for Shamrock Rovers, with Anton Whelan going off. Hanrahan and McNeville, who would seem to have gone back into a right back position for Shamrock Rovers. There's McNeville, the new right back. Campbell losing control, losing it to Gaffney. Dignan, Hanrahan trying to make a burst through, and Keeley to the rescue. Steedman, the play now picking up. Pat Byrne for Steedman. Buckley feeding it back to Neville Steedman. There's a chance here for Shamrock Rovers, but he couldn't get any real power behind the left-footed drive, and in the end made it quite easy for Alan O'Neill. McDonough, and the ball put into touch by Robbie Lawler. And so with 10 minutes of this cup final remaining, it's still Shamrock Rovers 0, UCD 0, and very much an all to play for situation. There won't be extra time. It'll go to a replay if it remains scoreless. The free this time will be to UCD for a little pushing in there in that penalty area. And that's Brendan Murphy's very first touch, as Joe Hanrahan would seem to have picked up cramp. Buckley for Everston, his very first touch. Terry Everston, can he make it count? But it came off Robbie Lawler. There too as well was Ken O'Doherty. Murphy giving it away to Terry Everston. Everston will be anxious to make an impression. Remember, he was substituted last year in the cup final when playing for Bohemians against Sligo Rovers. Byrne. Neville's head. Dunning eventually giving it away for a corner. And Martin Moran certainly in some trouble with cramp. And play will be delayed for just a moment as referee John Carpenter has a check on the watch. But the end result of this rest period for UCD will be a corner for Shamrock Rovers. As you can see, Neville Steedman is ready and waiting. Moran's okay.